Hi everyone, it's your girl Dynasty.
And I'm Charles.
And welcome to Mental Health in the Hood. And this is the Mental Health Show.
Good job.
All right, so welcome to season 3. Welcome back. This is episode 3. The topic of this discussion is rebuilding and maintaining a marriage through the pandemic. Okay, so today we have some special guests. Let's clap it up for Mr. Cortez and Mr. Lapar.
All right, how y'all doing today?
All right.
I'm good, man.
Okay, everyday people, meet Mr. Cortez and his wife, lovely wife Lapar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
All right,
Doing
Cortez, he's a vice president of the Timelist Group. He's also a life coach under YW Consultants, and he's also a reentry advocate. Mr. Cortez and his lovely wife. And let me correct that. It's Miss Chandler, not Jackson. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
I don't think that matters. I think she was happy.
Was you happy with that? Was you okay with that?
Hi.
All right, let's not forget about the shout-outs and celebrations.
Right. Shout out to celebrations. I'm proud of you. All right, you're doing a good job today. All right, so I want to thank everyone who watched episode 2. We had Yusuf come on the show who gave some advice and insight and perspective about relationship goals and how to build more healthy relationships with one another. We want to thank everyone who attended our last Zoom meetup on Wednesday, January 20th. We appreciate the vulnerability and the conversations that happened. We also want to thank everyone for following and supporting us through this journey. We are in season 3, you guys. We only started this company in May of 2020 and already in season 3. So we working, we in action, we moving, we healing, we processing. We're doing everything.
Yeah. And we've been grinding for the everyday people.
For the everyday people. It's all for you. So a lot of people are wondering, like, what is relationship goals and what does that mean for this season? I don't think we're trying to set the standard or give advice in any type of way to try to tell people how they should date, how marriage should look like, what it should look like. I think that we're trying to do is just have these necessary and difficult conversations and be able to give a lot of young people like myself perspective, a lot of people that's in middle age, people who have been through relationships, people who have been through tough times, and basically had these conversations that nobody really glamorizes or talks about. Everybody talks about relationship goals, but don't really know what it takes to maintain and rebuild and to basically sustain a relationship, especially when you're in a relationship with someone outside of yourself. So I think that today we just want to ask Mr. Cortez and Ms. Lapar some questions to kind of get some insight. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can take some things from them and be able to implement that in your own life.
Okay.
Do you have something you want to add?
No, you're doing a great job. I want to add that. Let's do that. Okay.
All right, that's what I do.
Mr. Cortez.
You done spun around on me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. I just want y'all to know that just be open and honest. You know, with the everyday people, we have some questions that we're going to go through, and let's have fun. You know, that's the main thing. All right. So my first question is to the both of y'all is how long have y'all been married, and what did your visualizing and what did you visualize in making your partner happy? It's for the both of y'all. So you think about that.
So let's repeat it one more time.
Okay. How long have y'all been married, and what did you visualize in making your partner happy?
I got the first part. 5 years? I got the first part down pat.
Okay. All right. 5 years.
Okay.
And visualize what made us happy. And what I would say is learning each other. Because a lot of times you have an ideology of how you want to say something, how you want to be, and it's not true. Because, you know, I heard the last show you guys were doing, it was on ego. You know, you touched on ego a lot.
Yeah, I did touch on ego a lot.
And I have an ego. You know what I'm saying? I stick my chest up, I roar a little bit, but it's not what she needs. You know, and I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way. It's not what she needs. You know, I have to go, hey, I can use these 2 things. You know, and that's part of the communication part of it. So I have to be able to listen to what she's saying to me, and then respond to it. You know, not just take off. You know, so she makes me happy with a lot. She listens to me.
I like that. Okay, but before you go, Lapar, I have another question for you.
I thought you just had one.
No,
I was about to say what you know.
Listen, but he just made me think about something. You know, because I spent a lot of time with Cortez. So when you think about visualizing of making your partner happy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to take it back even a little bit more far, right? Because it was once upon a time that you was incarcerated,
Yes.
right? And y'all was together when you was incarcerated. Y'all two was together. So when you used to be incarcerated, you used to think about being at home, and you appreciate her coming up there, seeing you all the time. What did you want to give her back?
Yeah, what did you see? Like, what did you
know what I
dream
mean?
about?
What did I see? What did I want to give her back?
Yeah, because remember the
Okay,
feelings.
yeah, because she kicked the doors down.
Exactly.
Okay, she kicked the doors down.
Exactly.
She came up there to see me, rain, sleet, or snow,
Yeah.
and she was going through cancer just before I came home.
Right.
So she went through a lot just to see me.
Yeah.
And the only thing I wanted to do was get home and provide, but I didn't have the emotional substance. Okay, and that's what I lacked. I didn't have the emotional substance. So to find somebody that has that emotional substance and be able to share it with me and teach me at the same time, that was priceless.
So you basically visualize you being able to be released from prison and be able to not only give back the time, but also give her something that you always wanted her to have and to share that with somebody else.
Appreciation.
Yes.
Appreciation. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr.
Go
Parr.
ahead with that, Eddie.
You know, that's what I do, therapist. I know how to bring it back. So, Mr. Parr, from your perspective, we know you guys have been together for 5 years. Marriage, 5 years. And then what are what did you visualize in making your partner happy when you first started?
Actually, we've been 21 years now.
21 years together, 5 years married.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
My perspective was what we put on the table. I didn't look at for anything outside of that. Everything that we said, the way we said we would do it, that's what I was looking for. So I would come home and I set the parameters to what we had agreed to. So I had the socks, the drawers, the dresser of the house, the degree, because I went back to school. So what I was expecting, it didn't happen. So that's the part where you said make each other happy. My happiness, I had it. I was happy preparing for him to come. That's where I was excited at.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Just him knowing he's free and he's here.
You ain't got to run up there no more.
Yeah,
He's coming
so
home.
I was actually preparing for him to come home and just babysit me for a little while because I just got through doing chemo. So I just wanted to rest and sleep and him babysit me.
Right.
But not babysit like, get my food, do this and that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing of you have to go through cancer to understand the kind of rest you want. But he was supposed to be a truck driver. So I was all prepared for truck driving school.
Right?
He was supposed to be a truck driver.
Okay.
And him and his cousin Wayne was going to open up their own businesses, which Wayne made it. So thank God for that. So that's where my happiness was, in that area. The other part of happiness was mine. I had already had mine. So
Happiness within yourself.
yeah.
So he just added to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
I like that because some people think that another person's supposed to be in charge of your happiness, and I think that's why she reiterated that I already had the happiness. That's something I didn't know, so I'm learning too.
We learn every day. Every time we bring on a guest, we learn something, right?
Right. Okay, so my question for number 2 is, in dealing with your own past trauma, so that means things that, to where, when I mean past trauma, things that have nothing to do with you guys together, things y'all dealt with independently in you guys' life, what are some of the challenges that you struggle with in your marriage?
She asked you first.
Oh, okay.
I think Cortez just threw it on you. He threw it on you.
She didn't ask nobody. She threw it out there.
Exactly. All right.
The part for me was being transparent from the beginning, telling everything. They would always say, your girlfriend don't write letters, she write novels. I would write in the aspect of, it's 6:30 in the morning, I'm on my way to the job, talk to you. Everything was synchronized. So for me, him not remembering, not studying the letters, that was the reason for the visits. That was the reason for the letters. If you're going to be with me, this is me. Don't forget it. But when you get free, I put it this way. I heard a man say to his woman, He loved when she brought him the sunshine behind the wall, but now that he can see the sun for himself, he sees the ray in a whole different light. And that's what happened. Cortez is now able to see the sun for himself. So the rays I wanted him to see, the pictures I drew, the letters I wrote, seemed like they were none and void now. So now you're messing with the truth of my trauma that I exposed to you.
That's deep.
You're not
deep.
taking care of it. You're misusing it. You're walking on it. You're ignoring it. So what happens is, I just start putting band-aids on what society was saying. Give him a chance. He don't know everything. He missed 25 years.
Right.
But instead of standing on my principles, I laid my principles down to give him an opportunity to regrow in life. But then after a while, it's like you take it too long.
It's at the expense of your own health.
Yeah. You know, you're taking too long, Buckaroo. You need to go on and push the gas.
So when you talk about your past trauma in terms of when you make the statement that you felt like that was avoided, how did that connect to your past trauma? Did you have that issue where you would put yourself out there and be vulnerable and people did not wasn't receptive to it?
Yes.
Okay.
See, even anybody I meet, I let them know two things. If I say something you don't understand, ask me, because I come from an old school. Like I'll say succotash. They're like, what's that? Yeah. But my old crowd knows what succotash means. So what happens is I start evolving in a new era of life. But I had old sayings, I had old roots, I had old beliefs. And then I was flipping them to try to accommodate his lifestyle. And that's where it was clashing. So he knew what my pet peeve was. Remember, I've been writing them over 16 years. He knew what they were. So he knew which ones to use for his defense mechanism. So I would crumble.
Yeah, that's deep, yeah. Thank you for that, because you just made me think about something, because I used to receive a lot of letters, right? But once I came home, it was like a lot of things that was written to me, it went out of my head, because I was looking at life on life terms at the moment. You know what I mean?
Did.
Yeah,
Amen.
yes.
It
Okay,
sure did.
I know.
Right, you just
I
walked all over mine.
Like I said earlier, you can see the sun rays for yourself and it's shining a different way.
Yeah, you're right. That was deep. I like that.
So Cortez, what's your perspective? Like, can you name your own past trauma and how it became some of the challenges that you're currently struggling with now?
Well, it's the trust of women. It was one of my traumas all the way from my mother. Okay, and if you see something happen in your life and you're not aware of it till later down the line, that's where my trauma kicked in. Okay, and I didn't realize a lot of this till I was, I think I was in my 16th year in prison, and it hit me. You know, I told her, I expressed to her in the visiting room how it hurt. It was so deep that, you know, and I was like, I don't trust women. You know, and she gave it to me. You know, and I'm like, what do I do with it? And so when she gave me that trust, and once I got my freedom, I started, you know, I gotta build, I gotta go get it, I gotta do it, I gotta do everything. And in 5 years, trying to establish all that in a relationship, and you're talking long term. We're not talking, like she said, 21 years. We came out of that 21 years, and then we got married the day I walked out the door. And so I didn't know how to emotionally connect to my wife, okay, because I was too busy trying to connect to the world. Okay, and I'm trying to learn new things, but I didn't take the time to learn my wife. Okay, that's where a lot of my traumas came in, because I automatically blocked, you know, the feeling of a woman, the understanding of a woman. Let me say it like that, not the feeling, but the understanding of a woman. I didn't have that. Okay, I didn't have them tools. I had an empty box. I just opened it up and look in it, but it wasn't giving me nothing to help myself. Okay, and to help my relationship, because it was rough. You know, because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So we go to that tool that we always use. Shut down, act like we are. Okay? And that was the wrong tool to use.
So basically, you had to unlearn and learn again.
Yes.
Versus she already had the tools.
She had all of it.
Because she kind of dealt with her own trauma when she was in her space.
Yes.
So she knew how to share it. It was open to share it. But then when it was time for you to receive it, you wasn't open to it because you didn't have the skills. So she had to teach you something that you've never been taught before.
Yes. Right. And I had to be
Okay.
willing to accept it. And that don't happen when you're in a relationship
Exactly.
and it's a COVID. You like this, you can't accept it. You like, okay, well, I'm right. You're wrong. And then that goes to ego.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And people always say ego is just for the man.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say women have egos too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we clash in it a lot.
I didn't have no ego. I was worried about that little chi-chi bird. My ego flew to death.
I think you got the. Thank you guys for that.
Yeah,
and sharing
thank you.
With
that
us.
was both of y'all was very insightful. So I hope everybody out there is like really taking this all in. Who's trying to build a long-term relationship, who's trying to grow, and especially through this pandemic, it's beautiful. So this leads me to my next question to you guys.
But also too, just to add,
Okay.
I think just listening to Lapar, it really hit for me because a lot of our traumas come from our childhood. And so we grow up and sometimes people think your partner might think you have those skills. Sometimes you just don't have them. So I think just reiterating on how trauma affects you in different ways, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, I think that's something that I wanted you guys to hone in on in both of their responses.
Yeah. And I think also too, you just, key something in me is that it's okay to be vulnerable for your partner. It's okay. You don't have to act like that you got it all together when you really don't. It's your partner. It's your wife. It's your husband. So it's okay to be vulnerable for them. So this leads me to my next question. Okay, how do you balance your own self-care along with maintaining a positive, healthy relationship? I'm going to repeat the question one more time. So think about it. Okay, how do you balance your own self-care along with maintaining a positive, healthy relationship?
I would say understanding my faith. That's my balance. Okay, that's where I want to grow in, and I want to learn and mature in. And a lot of times, I don't have that balance. I'm always struggling to make that balance. And when I first started watching you guys' show, and you guys touched on a subject like that, finding how to deal with your healthy relationship or build yourself, I looked. I said, I don't take that time. Right. I don't take that self-care. Yeah. And like I used to go fishing, it was fun just being at the lake.
Yeah, clear your mind.
Just clear your mind, talk to somebody, tell some fish stories. That was my one way of doing it. But like I said, I don't have it's wintertime, it's COVID, you can't go nowhere, you can't express yourself, and it's like, what do I do? Do I just sit in the house? Because I got a favorite spot in that house now. Yeah. It's the couch recliner. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's my comfort zone. Turn on some Netflix and I'm good.
Shut out the world.
Shut out the world.
That's not right. Though,
it's not.
Okay.
But see, I know this.
Right.
But at the beginning, I didn't know this.
Right.
Okay. I wasn't comfortable. And it's like, if you, like we've been married 5 years, and how many times can I say I love you? How many different ways can I say it? Okay. So,
you want to run all that?
but I'm saying that's how I think as a man.
Right.
That's my thought pattern. Okay, okay, I love you. Now I'm gonna say, let me go fix something in the garage. Let me go fix something and cut the grass. That's my form of showing I love you. Okay, but it's not necessarily her form of love. So I have to find a way to find balance so I can create that foundation in my relationship.
Do you think the fact that you say that you don't practice self-care as much as you would like, do you think that affects how you maintain and balance a relationship with someone else in your life? When you don't take care of yourself first?
Yes, most definitely. Yes. Self-care is important. I lack that. And I'm the first person to say it, and I know she cut her eyes, but she know I lack on self-care. And one of the ways that I'm trying to achieve that is understanding what she's saying. Like I said, if I'm not listening to what she's saying, that's the biggest form of it. I have to be able to listen. I said, to be able to communicate, you can say what you want to say, but me and you good on body movements, body language. We'll look at somebody and they'll be like, and if I feel that, and it goes both ways. I give it to her, but that's the way of saying, let me get my piece.
So when you notice that you're agitated or going through your own struggles, if work was tough that day, And you'll notice if Lapar is having a conversation with you, notice you're a little agitated. It doesn't come from Lapar, it comes from you.
Yes.
And that's when you'll catch yourself when she check you.
Yeah.
And you like, oh, I need to go take care of
Yeah,
myself.
let me walk to the baby. What you need? How you doing?
Right. Let me get myself together. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I just think that, self-care, it gives you the patience to deal with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because if you don't check yourself first, or get your own piece together first, and then you come into a conversation with your wife, and then she might have something to say, and your patience and tolerance level is just not there.
No.
Yeah.
So she gets the bad end of the stick.
Yes, she does.
Because you didn't put proper self-care in for yourself, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So now we can turn it to Ms. Lapar and say, how do you balance your own self-care along with maintaining a positive, healthy relationship?
Good. I had to start over. I had to really leave everything. I went on a retreat not too long ago. And I just went on a quest to understand peace. Not peace that comes from a television, not peace that comes from anything. The peace that just comes from the Creator. So I went and looked at different books. I watched documentaries to find the peace that I once had. See, before I met Cortez, I was at peace with my life. I raised my kids. I was on my own. So when I met Cortez, my first thing to him was, I prefer you worry about your soul than be in a relationship with me, because I've already done lived. I just want to keep growing. And my thing is, I like information. Give me something new. I can't do the same thing over and over. I'll get irritated, I get agitated, I lose it because I can't stay under this. Bring me a new science book, bring me a new documentary, give me a new word to spell. But if I have to go find the information and feed myself, then I start outgrowing you. And that's the hard part. So if I have to make myself stay under a certain demeanor, I can't grow. If I come above your demeanor, we got problems.
And we're not growing together.
We're not. So my self-care is in the morning. I play my favorite 3 songs. I read my strength in scriptures. I pick 2 scriptures out of the Buddha doctrine and one from the Islam doctrine and one from my Christian doctrine. And I read them and I say them until I can hear them in my sleep. So when I wake up in the morning, my family's not the first thing on my mind. My Creator is. Then I do my facial, take me a warm bath, and then I come out the bathroom. And then the rest of the world of the day is responsible for their own principle, their own behavior.
So basically, when it comes to self-care for both of you guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that if 2 people do not practice self-care on their own, then one can outgrow the other if one person's not working on themselves.
Yes.
So it's best that both people take out the time to take care of themselves so that the relationship could be healthy. Because it'll be imbalanced if one is putting more work into themselves to be a better person for themselves, to be a better version of themselves to you, versus another person not putting in that work. So then it's kind of just like an imbalance.
I had, your last guest on your other seat, Mr. Wiley, said something, and I repeat that to him a lot. If you keep putting Band-Aids, Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid, when it unravels, it's ugly.
Yeah. They call Band-Aids maladaptive behaviors. It's a comfort zone.
But the person who's bleeding and you don't see the blood is the more dangerous one. So you either turn on yourself psychologically or you explode on other people. So I had to find a balance because I love my family, I love my friends, I love my extended family up here in the Lancaster area, but I was out of balance. So I had to leave and go find my balance. And then once you find your balance, and you sit back, you can hear actually what the world is saying and the way people move it, and then you know how to conduct yourself.
And the universe will start to speak to you. Okay, so my next question is, I appreciate you guys for that. What's the best advice you ever received from your partner, and how has it shaped you as a person?
The best advice I got from Cortez in the beginning of our relationship was put down everything you know to learn what you don't know, and you excel. And when I did that, I went from not having an education at 32 years old, couldn't read and write at all. I had a second grade education, to getting my bachelor's in science, to picking up 3 other degrees from junior college, to starting my own daycare. So that was the best thing, and I use that a lot, even in my parenting classes. I tell people, put down what you know to learn what you don't know. But in the same token, you have to be the first partaker of what you give the world. If you're not the first partaker, then it's just words.
I like that.
That was powerful, Cortez.
Man,
You don't even know
that's
what to
it.
say.
That's my motivation. That's right there.
Yeah,
That's why I married you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that ain't it. That's another show.
So Cortez, because I see Miss Lapar, she drops bars in Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
So now that she's giving that type of advice that got everybody quiet and shook, what's the best advice you ever received from Miss Lapar, and how has it shaped you as a person?
She's given me, I would say, honesty. People, they don't see it like that, but I would say honesty, because what she gave me was the truth. And a lot of times we divert from the truth. Okay, we avoid the truth. But when somebody gives it to you from the beginning of who they are, like I don't want to talk about prison, but my wife was in the visiting room with me, and some guy stepped to me, but he was playing. She didn't know he was playing. She thought she was. She stood up like, "What's up? You ain't finna do nothing to him." And I'm like, "Okay, but I had to count. I said, no, man. But I seen the truth though.
Right.
I actually seen the truth from that moment. And I spilled coffee on her one time, and she stayed with me. Yeah, her and my mom was there, and I knocked my nephew. Who was it? My nephew knocked the coffee over me, and it poured on her, and I grabbed her and I pulled her back, and she made me feel like something that I never felt. I'm a man.
I was like, oh, he saved me.
So how is Lapar teaching you about honesty? How has it shaped you as a person? Did it make you become more honest and transparent, or
it made me see honesty in other people when I couldn't see it in myself? Because I used to always, from growing up, put everything into the street gang, put everything into the other people, but not investing into myself. So when she gave me that, I can say, oh, I can love, I can give to other people, I can understand the empathy. And that was the key thing. The empathy, that was what she gave me. She gave me strength.
So basically, correct me if I'm wrong, that if you're not honest with yourself, you can't be honest with nobody else.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, did that honesty come from looking in the mirror?
No. It came from my wife. Like I said, she gave it to me.
No, when she did teach you,
how
did you practice it?
It was recently. We had a conversation, and it went to a point where I see it. And I broke down in tears. I actually seen it, that I wasn't open. I wasn't being myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's when it hit me like, wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't honest with myself. Because that's the first person you can lie to. If you telling somebody else a lie, you lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You're the first person to lie.
And sitting here listening to you and listening to your wife, I can see how much that y'all truly care about and love each other. And I think like maybe when she is talking to you or something like that, she's coming from the heart. She's coming from honesty. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's another opportunity to embrace it, right?
Yes.
To embrace it, right?
I got you, brother.
Because you said honesty.
Yes.
You said she helped you with that.
Yes, she did.
So that's something that I think that continue to make y'all elevate as a couple through pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Because it's tough,
Through life.
Through life. Yeah,
we
exactly.
spending more time together.
But you know what? Though this pandemic is really tough, right?
Yeah.
but it's been an opportunity to grow. It's been an opportunity to experience new things. It's been an opportunity to start over again. Right?
It's been an opportunity to evaluate.
Yeah, evaluate,
yeah.
make adjustments, things like that. I'm saying that's what love is about, right?
Yeah.
People always say something about, well, you're not giving me the same spark that we started off with. Okay, this is a time for it. You know what I mean? This is a time for it. You know, so that leads me to my next question. Good job. Good job just sitting up here listening to you, man. One day I'm gonna be in your shoes, my brother. You know what I'm saying? All right, my next question is.
Yeah, one day. Huh?
Yeah, well, one day, huh? Okay, can you both share one or more important elements that help you sustain a healthy marriage or relationship? Could you both share one or more elements, important elements, that help you sustain a healthy marriage or relationship?
I always speak on myself about what I lack and what I've grown and what I learned. And one of the things is communication. Okay?
Communication.
It's for me, it's something that gives me an opportunity. Like I said, my key thing with communication, I've always talked, but I never listened. So to be able to,
you okay over there?
let me pat you on the back, baby. But I used to talk, but I never listened.
Right.
Okay, because of my ego, because of my persona or how I wanted to carry myself.
Right.
Okay, and I didn't respond the way I should have responded on a lot of things that she said to me. Okay, so when you're in a relationship, you got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to listen to the people that you talk to. Okay, because your mouth moves 100 miles an hour. Okay, but what's up here? What's up here? Okay, how far is this from your 18 inches?
18 inches?
18 inches.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Educate the people then.
Okay, 18 inches.
Right.
From right here, your heart to your mouth is 18 inches.
Okay.
Okay. Some people a little longer, some people a little shorter, but 18 inches. Now,
so don't quote him on that.
but if you go another 4 or 5 inches,
yeah.
you thought about it.
Yeah.
Then bring it up out your mouth.
Yeah.
Then speak on it. You know, that's how I like it.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Yeah. Miss Lapar, it's on you.
What's that question again?
Okay, I got you. Can you both share one or more important elements, which is the key, that helps to sustain a healthy marriage or relationship?
For me, it'd be your strength and and I don't use the word weaknesses. Your strength. And when I say that, if you're the bookkeeper, then you're the bookkeeper.
Mm.
If you're the housekeeper, you're the housekeeper.
Mm.
If you're the carpenter, you're the carpenter. But the strengths have to complement each other. So as a wife, if I say, because I'm the financer,
Okay.
and I only say that because of where the era I come from. Remember, he missed 25 years of doing it.
Right.
I had to do it with 2 kids and go to school and work my way off of every government program.
Yeah.
So Robin Paul, old folks used to say, rob Paul to pay Peter and have enough money to go to the emergency room. So I know how to move it. So if I say we can't right now, that don't mean we won't.
Right.
But right now, if he said, babe, I'm going to fix the heater, I can't keep saying, well, no. I got to give him an opportunity to fix it. But understand our limits. So whatever your role is, and it's just me and him. So basically, he works. But I can multitask because my wisdom, my life experience has taught me to multitask. I always tell people the only difference between me and Cortez, he got caught, I didn't. So it gave me an opportunity to learn from that era of mistakes. You know, that's the only difference in life. If you was out there and you didn't get in trouble, you got the opportunity to become a lawyer, a doctor, a school teacher, a nurse, a wife, a mother, a bus driver, teacher's aide. But if you got caught, you only got the opportunity to either be dead or due to crime. So life wisdom for me and for anybody out there, seek wisdom. Seek wisdom. Because wisdom don't lie to you. All it is an experience that's been tried and proven to go negative or positive. That's all you're going to get out of wisdom. So that's what I use a lot. So when it came to my husband, he didn't get a chance to use wisdom. He had to use survival. So we're clashing. Because you can't survive. You have to live now.
Right.
Yeah.
I live. I just want to live longer.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That's right.
So the main important elements are communication, strengths. They call it strengths or strengths, and people say it differently. Yeah, they say it either way.
Go
And
ahead,
the
Lana.
wisdom.
Go ahead, Lana.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lana. Go, Lana.
All right. So I think the biggest thing is that we want to thank you guys for taking out the time to have this conversation with us, to be vulnerable in this space, to do that, because a lot of people don't think that talking about these things are okay, especially on camera and knowing it's going to be on YouTube forever. I'm going to tell you that right now. People be like, it's going on YouTube? I don't know about that. Now, if it was Snapchat, they probably would like it because it erased. But the fact that they got to look at it, and I think that from our culture, especially as African-American people, we don't have a lot of places like this where we can kind of process together, talk about these things, and learn from each other. And I think that it's an opportunity for me and my dad to have that perspective and learn from you guys to kind of help us, like, you know, with our own personal issues that we may be having. So it's a privilege for you guys to be there, but it's also, we're also feeling like this is an opportunity for us to learn and grow as well. And you guys representing the first married couple that we have on the show, I think it's just going to set the bar for anybody that does want to come on the show to say, oh, the space is safe. It's brave. These two people didn't put each other down. It didn't turn into an argument. We were civilized adults that had a conversation to where some things we could agree and disagree, but we still was able to put it out there. And I think that that's powerful.
Y'all did a great job.
Thank you.
It's very educational.
Yes.
It's very real. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it helps a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
So I just want y'all to know that we appreciate y'all, Mental Health in the Hood, our show, this platform. We steadily trying to grow. Y'all did a great job.
Like they started.
All right.
A great job. So, Dynasty, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right.
Let's close us out.
Let's close it out. You know, time is ticking. All right. So, the announcements. The next Zoom meeting is scheduled Wednesday, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Always remember, Zoom information is on our social media accounts at Mental Health in the Hood on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So you can always check out that information there. Episode 4 is scheduled for Sunday, February 14th. And that's also the weekend of Valentine's Day. So we're in COVID. So you have something to watch with your partner later on after you guys hang out. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, share. And then the next call to action group workout is going to be on February 7th at 10 o'clock a.m. Please make sure you also tune into our social media to get the updates about the details of where the location will be and things like that. And you already know my dad got the muscle and the hustle. So for all the ladies and gentlemen that are trying to be physically fit and work on their mental health, make sure you guys come in and continue to follow us, subscribe, spread the word, tell people about us. And we thank you guys again for tuning in on another show of Mental Health in the Hood.
Thank you, everyday people.
Thank you.